Hi, my name is Hackenberger and I want to thank you all for this opportunity. With me today I have Michael, who is 12 and a middle schooler, and Madison, who is 15 and in high school. Both of their parents gave me permission to teach them about alcohol awareness and education, and also to be recorded today. Okay guys, let's get started. Go ahead, take a seat. Okay guys, in the past few years, since your father is military, you guys have moved multiple locations, correct?
Yes.
Okay, you guys were living in California,
Yeah.
Florida, and now Virginia Beach.
Yes.
During those places, have you guys had any type of alcohol education through your school or your community?
No.
Not at all?
No.
What about you?
I've had some, but it wasn't in depth, and they didn't talk about much alcohol. It was more drug.
More drug related?
More drug related.
So then with that, do you guys know what alcohol is?
Yes.
What is it?
It's like beer, wine and stuff like that.
And
Yeah, it's like, it's drinks and everything.
okay.
Liquor.
So do you guys know what the legal alcohol age is then?
21 and under.
21 and under? What about you?
21 and over.
21 and over, that is the legal alcohol age. So with that, 21 and over, we're going to do a few activities that's going to be more hands-on, that's going to be able to teach you guys the effects and impacts that your mind has and that your body goes through when you guys are under the influence of alcohol. But I need you guys to promise me one thing. You guys need to be careful, you need to be safe. We don't want to hurt you guys, we don't want to break anything, and we want to have fun, okay? Can we do that? Okay, so the first one is going to be called the dollar bill activity, but it's not called dollar bill because I didn't have a dollar bill, so it's called painter's tape activity. So, you guys want to stand up and we can go through this? What we're going to do is we have to, we're going to bend over and we're going to hold our toes, okay? And when we're going to stand at the tape and you're going to continue to hold our toes and we are going to jump while you hold your toes. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So hold your toes, don't let go, and then jump. Michael, you want to go first?
Sure.
You think this is going to be easy?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Oh, you didn't hold your toes. Madison, you give it a try. Oh, Michael, try again. You got to make sure you grab those toes and keep them held. Madison, one more try. Go ahead. You want to try it again? No? You want to try it one more time?
Sure.
Go ahead. Ooh, that was close. That was great. Okay, let's go take a seat and let's talk about this. So the idea of doing that was when you're under the influence, you guys have the belief that you can accomplish certain tasks when in reality you can't. So people that are under the influence think that, hey, I can totally drive a car. It's super easy. But as you can see from that activity, that you can't do that. So, Michael, how hard did that activity look?
Good.
Well, when you walked up there, what did you think?
That is probably gonna be easy.
Yeah, what about you, Madison?
I thought it was going to be way easier than that.
Yeah, and then what did you think after you gave it a try?
It was harder.
Yeah?
Yeah. Impossible.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happens sometimes with alcohol. You guys get up there and you think, oh, I can totally drive that car. And then you get behind the wheel and you're thinking, and it's, no, that is not what the case is. So, Michael, do you know what impairment means?
No.
What about you, Madison?
Like, when you're off, when you consume alcohol and you don't really know what's going on as much as you think you do.
Yes, it's basically you're physically and mentally unfit to do something. So, Michael, we're going to be using that word a bunch during this. So
Okay.
that's why I wanted to bring that up for everyone. So does a person who is impaired know that he can't do activities like that, like get behind a car or behind a wheel of a car? No, so they basically think that, hey, I'm invincible, I can do this, right?
Yes.
So what do you think they're thinking when he gets behind that wheel?
That they could drive the car like anybody else could.
Yeah, and what do you think happens at the time?
They have to like crash and get really hurt.
Yeah. Did you know that alcohol-related incidents are because of people getting behind the wheel from drinking? It's bad. So how is our judgment impaired?
Not when you're drinking. You don't want to go like near cars and stuff. Like have your keys on you, so you don't get in the car and start like driving, and you could get hurt. Or you can get somebody else hurt.
Yes, good answer, Michael. I love that.
Well, I think you get like a slower reaction because you think you can do everything, but you really can't, and you don't know that.
That is awesome. I love that answer about slower reaction, and that actually ties into our next activity. So I'm going to do something really silly with you guys. Who has the bigger foot between you two? Go ahead and measure your feet. I know it's super silly.
I think it's Michael.
Michael, yeah, it sure does. Okay, so go ahead and take a seat, face each other. This is a super silly one. This is a slower reaction activity. So Michael, you get to be in charge first this time. Yes. So Madison, you're going to go ahead and take your hands out like this, cross them, grab, and whoop. So Michael, what you get to do is you don't touch Madison this time, but you get to point to a finger and say, move this finger. Or pick whatever finger you want.
This one.
Okay, and keep going and telling her.
That one.
Ooh,
This one.
and keep going. Just keep pointing.
This one.
Don't touch the fingers though.
That one.
Ooh, do you see that she's not moving the correct fingers and is taking our stuff? Okay, how about you go ahead and switch places, Michael? There you go.
This one. That one.
Wait.
This one.
Michael, how about you bring up your hand a little bit more to your chin? There you go. So you make. Ooh. Look at that. Okay, go ahead and switch spots now. Again, do it again. And Michael, now touch the finger that you want Madison to move. When you're ready, go ahead and switch partners and try it again. So Madison, touch Michael's hand. Ooh, look at that. Okay, so when you guys are under the influence, your reaction times slow down. So you guys are under it's a depressant, the alcohol is a depressant, it slows the body's reaction. For example, driving. If you're driving under the influence, your body will see the red light, your body will see a stop sign, but it thinks it is further away, and your stopping reactions will not be as fast as it usually is. So therefore, you might blow that stop sign because you would think that it was not where it is. So, what happened when you pointed to your fingers?
What happened was that we knew which finger, but since our hands were like on different sides, we thought we were trying to move the one that we were supposed to. So when we were like this, when you were pointing to this one, but the one right here, we would think we would be moving we would be moving like this one instead, because you pointed here, and this hand was supposed to, the finger you pointed at was supposed to be here, but it was over there.
Yeah.
Because when it's like this finger right here is on the left, but it's on the right, so I would move my right one instead.
Yeah, and it threw you off. But what happened when Michael touched your finger?
You could feel which one you were supposed to move, so it was easier to.
So your right side of your brain controls the left side. So therefore, when the right brain when you touched it, your brain was able to process it. But when it's pointing, your brain was unable to process it. So it shows the slow reaction times. So if you were driving, what could happen during that time that your brain is unable to process that? What kind of action?
Although it would be like a really slow type of reaction. When you're driving, like the stop sign look pretty far away, but like you're really close. So when you're driving, you pass like the light when it's supposed to be red, like you can get really hurt.
Yeah. So what kind of jobs would be directly impacted if a person performing that job were under the influence?
Probably a driver ed type of person. Probably like somebody that like an Uber, a taxi driver, somebody like somebody that has any type of job that has to drive in a car, just like somebody that's transporting somebody that's delivering mail, like somebody that's driving a trash truck.
Those are great answers, Michael. I love those.
I think any job, because they would be slow in anything that they did. And if they weren't under the influence, they could be thinking about being under the influence and when they can do it again.
you're right. Any job basically can be slowed reaction time because they would be thinking about alcohol. Because alcohol is something that you can become addicted to. And it's great that you did say that because do you guys have something that you guys love, like food or screen time or maybe Fortnite or Pokemon Go? Is there something? So did I hit something? Because I know you're a boy and Pokemon Go and Fortnite is something that...
Three things. My favorite food, pizza, and
Oh.
and I don't really play Fortnite that often since I started playing a different game, Pokemon Go, because I like playing that because I get to actually walk around, and my parents don't really like tell me to get off of it because I'm actually exercising and walking.
Oh, good. What about you?
Probably my phone.
You love your phone?
Yeah.
Well, of course. Who doesn't
Yeah.
love their phone sometimes? Well, when you love these things, is there a time that you want to have it and want to play it, but your parents say no or not right now?
Yes.
Yeah, like what? Tell me something. Tell me an example. One of those. Is it your phone for you?
Yeah, my phone.
What about you?
Probably it's either my favorite food or my phone.
Yeah, your phone too. So, what happens when they say no? How do you guys act up? Do you misbehave? Do you stomp off?
No, I usually say please. Like if I say we can get it from here, like 'cause this place is like really cheap, and if they say no, it's like okay, can I use this?
He
He
negotiates.
negotiates.
Oh, she says you. Oh, wow, look at you, negotiator.
I also negotiate, but it doesn't work. And then when it doesn't work, we both get a little bit upset about it.
Get a little bit of that negotiate. That's a great idea. You're going to be future lawyers, aren't you? I love that. So for some people storm off or get angry or have behavior changes. You two are negotiators, which that might go a long way for you both. That's
Yeah.
you never know. But some people would call that an addiction though, with the behavior changes and the mood swings and the constant thinking of when the next time you can get your pizza and wanting and desiring and needing that pizza or your phone because screen time, like we love that screen time. I don't know if you guys ever use your screen and when you put it down you just sit there and sometimes you're in a grumpy mood after you have that screen because you've just had so much stimulation. But some would call that an addiction. And we're going to do an activity that shows what it's like when your body goes through an addiction phase or when it craves something that your body desperately needs. So with this activity, I need you guys to be careful and smart when you do this, okay? You will both need to stand up, okay? And you really need to be smart. And you can't try to beat each other because this is not one of those games. And you can't do this until you feel faint. So what we're going to do is you're going to hold your breath. Not yet. I saw you kind of hold your breath. Not yet. So what it is you're going to hold your breath until you no longer can hold your breath. And when you're done holding your breath, you're going to sit down. Okay? So let's go ahead. And like I said, don't try to beat each other. It's not a competition of who has a better breath holding skills. It's not like that. We're not in a pool to try to race against each other. But we're going to take a few deep breaths. And when I count to 3, you're going to hold your breath. When you're unable to, breathe just like a normal person, and then just go ahead and sit down, okay? But again, don't try to win, and if I feel like you guys are going forever, I'm just gonna be like, okay, breathe, and sit down, okay? So when I say 3, go ahead and take a deep breath, and sit down, okay? 1, 2, 3.
I'm gonna breathe now.
Michael, this is very impressive.
He's probably breathing so
So there's this thing that I learned when I was in band, that when you play an instrument, that you learn how to breathe through your nose while you continuously push air out of your mouth. It's called cycle breathing. And it came in handy when I found out that you can play longer an instrument and never have to take a breath.
It's really hard doing it for trumpet though because
Well, that's how my friends learned it, through trumpet.
But it's really hard for me because I play trumpet, and what happens is Like Trumpet says, out of my friends, I also do it. Like I'm the newest, so I've been doing it for the least amount of time. Like they don't know how to do it yet, but what happens is
Wait, so were you just cycle breathing?
No.
Oh,
I don't know how to do that yet.
Okay, well, we'll come back to that, okay? Let's go ahead and do this, and I would love to hear about yourself doing that, because it's a really good skill to learn. Okay, so when you were out of breath, you needed to take another one, and you didn't sit or think about it, right? You sat down and took a breath, right? Addiction is similar. You don't think about it, you just go after it, okay? And that's the concept of those who are using alcohol and using the phrase, like people that are addicted, they use the phrase, I need this or I'm going to die. Is there ever a time that you said, I need pizza or I'm gonna die? Have you ever been dramatic like that?
Yes.
Oh man, see? And that's what people look at as addiction. And that's how this behavior shows how addiction can control your behavior. So, could you have held your breath longer, Michael?
Yes.
What about you?
Probably.
Yeah? What would you have done, what type of measure would you have done just to get air if you were running out?
Just breathe.
Well, I mean, like, say you were in a circumstance where you are unable to get air right now. What type of situation would you have done? What would you have done to get that breath of air?
Anything.
Anything?
Mm-hmm.
You would have let your behavior and your attitude just take over and be able to get that breath.
Yes.
And that shows a form of how your behavior would take over your body in the form of addiction. And so, why do you think some people sat down sooner, Michael? Like, why do you think Madison sat down before you did?
Because she needed the air. Like I did. It could be different reasons. Like she wanted it, or like she didn't get like a good breath. So like she could have gone longer if she got like a better breath maybe. That's why.
So, did you guys know that kids who are introduced to alcohol earlier are more prone to be able to become addicts than adults are, because their bodies and their minds are not as matured as adults are. So the earlier you start drinking alcohol, the earlier and more addicted you guys can become. So it shows that your breath was less likely because your body is now more matured than Michael. So he was able to, even though you were older, but your addiction was not there. So it's one of these things that you now are able to become more addicted to an alcohol, to an addiction of anything, because your body is not as mature as an adult's is. So keep that in mind. So, we have now discussed the legal drinking age, which is now what, Michael?
21 and over.
Good! Yeah! Good job. Thank you, Michael. We have discussed and demonstrated what it feels like and how our judgment is altered under the influence, and how our reaction time slows, and we ended with experiencing addiction. What have you guys taken from these activities?
That people say they get from the first activity, how people say, I can do this, like, and I don't care, like, I'm drinking, I can drive, like, I'm just a normal person. And once they, like, to the second one, after they're driving, they are, like, it looks like they're far away from, like, the stop sign or, like, the light, but they're closer than they think. And then they could hit somebody into the third activity. What happens is that they think that after, like, when they're driving, they could say, I want more, so then they'll stop, and, like, they'll get out, like, anywhere, pretty much, to get more of what alcohol, pretty much.
Michael, that was fantastic. I love that you got something from each of those. What about you?
It's just like it's really easy to get addicted, or it's really easy to not realize how impaired you are.
Yeah, it's amazing. These simple activities have been absolutely eye-opening to exactly, and what they were quick 5-minute activities, and it's absolutely eye-opening. So thank you both for doing this with me, and I'm glad you guys got something from this.